Episode 191. The handsome young prince, of course, had no idea what Han Li was thinking. He struck up a conversation with Wen Yuli and a few old friends from the Qin family, leaving two of the young ladies blushing, a clear sign their hearts were fluttering. Han Li saw this and let out a quiet, inward sneer.
This young prince is deeply suspicious. If those Qin women actually throw themselves at him, they won't get anything good out of it. Even if this young prince devoured me whole, bones and all, I wouldn't find it the least bit surprising.
After a moment, the new king apologized to Qin Yan and the others, then led the young prince off to the next table, leaving the Qin family disciples and the old man surnamed Hua's grandchildren, who had been deep in conversation with the prince, visibly disappointed. Han Li, however, stole a glance at the young prince's retreating figure, a contemplative look flickering in his eyes. The banquet finally ended after more than an hour, and the satisfied guests began taking their leave of the new prince and his son. Qin Yan, along with Han Li and the others, mingled among the departing guests, offering their farewells before finally stepping out through the main gate of the new king's residence. But just as old Master Qin was about to board the carriage that had brought Han Li suddenly asked a question that left Qin Yan stunned.
Uncle Qin, who are those two? Can you tell me?
Though Han Li's words were polite, old Master Qin dared not take them lightly. He quickly turned his head to look.
Which two people is Prophet Han referring to? Isn't that old Master Shao? He's the owner of the famed Leisure Cloud Tavern in the capital, a man who keeps a very low profile. I don't know him well. As for the young man beside him, he looks unfamiliar, probably one of his grandsons.
Han Li saw the old man and the young man that Han Li had pointed at, and a look of surprise crossed his face. He wondered why Han Li was interested in these two.
Oh, is that so? Then go on ahead, Uncle Qin. I'll take a stroll and return to the manor a bit later.
Han Li nodded thoughtfully, then, before Qin Yan could say a word, he turned and slowly made his way down the path that curved along the side of the estate wall. Qin Yan stared blankly at Han Li's retreating back, then glanced at the distant, furtive gaze of the old Master Shao. A flicker of doubt stirred in his heart. After a moment's thought, he decisively boarded the carriage and ordered his trusted driver to move out. And so, the Qin family carriages departed from the new prince's mansion, heading east toward the Qin residence. As for those young masters and misses of the Qin family, they hadn't even noticed Han Li's disappearance. They were still in the two carriages behind, chattering away about everything they'd seen and heard at the new prince's mansion today. Everyone was buzzing with excitement, each of them convinced that even though they hadn't secured a celestial bond this time, they definitely had enough material to brag about to their peers back home. Meanwhile, Han Li, after walking for about the time it takes to finish a cup of tea, finally reached the back entrance of the new mansion, following its towering walls. The back door was tightly shut, with not a single soul in sight. Han Li chuckled. Perfect. That saved him the trouble of casting any concealment spells. So he just stood there at the back door, idly staring up at the sky. After a moment, Han Li found himself lost in thought, as if mulling something over. Suddenly, Han Li sensed someone approaching timidly from afar. He lowered his head and cast a cold glance. Just then, old Master Shao and the young woman in men's clothing came around from the other side of the manor. When the old man spotted Han Li, he faltered mid-step, a flicker of hesitation crossing his face. The young woman, however, looked on with nothing but curiosity, not a trace of fear. The old man seemed to have figured something out, his expression settling into calm. He strode forward, and the girl followed behind.
Junior Xiao Zhen thanks Senior for showing mercy back at the Wang residence. If I have given any offense, I humbly beg your forgiveness.
After walking up to Han Li, old Master Shao still couldn't gauge his cultivation level at all. Shocked by this realization, his reverence for Han Li only deepened, so before speaking he hurriedly bowed first in respectful apology. Han Li accepted the bow without a change in expression.
You're not in secluded meditation somewhere rich with spiritual ki. Could it be you've grown attached to the mundane world's glory and no longer wish to cultivate?
Han Li, without a second thought, slapped a big label on the old man first. Only by doing so could he easily dominate the momentum and make everything that followed much easier to handle.
Senior, you misunderstand. I am far too old to have any hope of foundation establishment. So I was assigned by my clan to manage its secular finances. I am not a disciple who has willfully remained in the mortal world.
Which clan are you from?
Han Li naturally wanted to get a read on this grandfather and granddaughter pair. If they were one of the more prominent cultivation clans, Han Li wouldn't want to provoke them lightly either. But the Xiao name didn't seem to belong to any prominent cultivation clan. At Han Li's question, the old man paused, glancing back at the young woman beside him.
This junior is from the Wind and Sword Xiao family of Yunzhou.
The Wind and Sword Xiao family.
Han Li furrowed his brow, thinking it over carefully, and confirmed he had definitely never heard that name before.
Senior, there's no need to dwell on it. The Xiao family is just a small clan. It's only natural you've never heard of us.
Han Li found this unexpected. He took another look at Old Master Xiao.
You speak so freely. Aren't you afraid I'll lose all restraint and kill you both on the spot?
The moment Han Li said that, the old man didn't react much, but the young girl flinched like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. Her hand shot to her waist, where a bulging pouch sat. No need to guess, it was definitely a storage pouch. But then, the girl saw that neither her grandfather nor Han Li seemed ready to actually fight, and she flushed, pulling her hand back, not knowing where to put it, a sight that was utterly endearing. At this, the old man cast another fond glance at the young girl.
I may not be able to discern the depth of your cultivation, Senior, but I am well aware that you are a foundation establishment expert. I find it hard to believe I possess any magic tools or pills valuable enough for a cultivator of your mastery to covet. If Senior truly is that kind of person, then I have nothing more to say. With my meager magic power, running or fighting back would be useless. Better to surrender and let you have your way so you don't take it out on my entire clan. But I only ask that you spare my granddaughter, Senior. She is the last of my bloodline.
Grandpa, don't be scared. If he really tries anything, we'll fight back. I'm not afraid of him.
Han Li paused at the old man's and the girl's words, then took a closer look at the pair. After a moment, he found the whole situation both exasperating and amusing. For all the old man's pitiful talk of self-sacrifice, Han Li saw not a shred of genuine death wish in his eyes. His magic power was coiled and ready to strike, hardly the posture of a man surrendering. This man's plan was clear. If Han Li truly intended to kill him for his treasures, he would fight to the death without hesitation. As for that young lady, she was even more amusing. Her words were all sweet and innocent, but those jet-black, gem-like eyes of hers kept darting around whenever Han Li wasn't looking, and every now and then a sly glint would flash through them. What the young girl didn't know was that Han Li, having mastered the first layer of the great divination art, possessed a spiritual sense far more powerful than the average foundation establishment cultivator. Every one of her little tricks had already fallen completely under his watchful gaze.
I suspect that Wind and Sword Xiao clan they mentioned was just something they made up on the spot. I seriously doubt such a family even exists.
So Han Li wore a faint, knowing smile, saying nothing as he fixed his gaze on the pair. He neither told them they could leave, nor did he immediately turn hostile. He simply left the old man and the young girl hanging there for the time being. At first, the old man and the young girl managed to keep their expressions solemn and tragic, but as time dragged on, faced with Han Li's languid demeanor and utterly indifferent gaze, the two of them eventually just exchanged awkward, uncertain looks.
As a senior, what exactly are you planning to do?
The girl could no longer hold back. Ignoring the old man's warning glare, she leaped in front of Han Li, hands on her hips, pointing a finger at him. What exactly do you want? She demanded, her face full of grievance.
Han Li's expression shifted slightly, and his gaze toward the girl betrayed no anger whatsoever, yet the old man could clearly sense the chill emanating from him.
Startled, before the old man could even pull the girl back behind him, an overwhelming aura erupted from Han Li. The terrifying spiritual pressure contained within it forced the girl, who was standing right in front of him, to stagger back 7 or 8 steps without any ability to resist.
Fortunately, the old man was quick-eyed and quick-handed. He flickered behind the girl in a blur, planting both hands on her shoulders to halt her backward stumble. At this moment, the young woman's face was as pale as paper. She finally grasped the true terror of Han Li's cultivation level. She turned to look at her grandfather behind her. The old man's expression was equally grim.
If I had even a shred of confidence before, believing that my granddaughter and I could escape from him together, then after witnessing just a glimpse of his true power, I've completely abandoned that foolish hope. The terror of a Foundation establishment cultivator is far beyond anything I imagined. We small-time cultivators have no business provoking someone like this.
The old man broke out in a cold sweat just thinking about the petty tricks he and his grandson had pulled in front of that expert.
This master is nothing like the cultivators I've encountered before, those who only know how to sit and train in dull meditation. His intellect is sharp, his reactions swift, far beyond ordinary men. Could it be that this person is actually a centuries-old monster, and only looks so young because he knows the secret to preserving his appearance?
The more the old man thought about it, the more likely it seemed, and the more terrified he became. Sensing that Han Li's spiritual pressure seemed to be growing even stronger, the old man couldn't help but swallow.
Senior, please show mercy. My granddaughter is just too young. She doesn't know her place. I beg you, calm your anger.
Han Li gave the old man one last cold look, apparently satisfied that he was speaking from the heart, and only then did the oppressive aura around him suddenly recede, instantly becoming as inscrutable as deep, still waters once more. The old man, surnamed Xiao, finally withdrew his trembling hand from the girl's shoulder. By now, the young lady had quieted down. She stole a glance at Han Li, then quickly averted her eyes, as if she dared not look at him directly anymore.
This was a far cry from her fearless, unyielding demeanor just moments ago. But now, with her delicate, fragile frame and her pale, startled face, she truly looked like a frightened little bird, utterly endearing. Han Li watched, and for the first time he discovered this delicate, feminine beauty. It struck him to the core, leaving him utterly captivated.
He couldn't help but steal a few more glances. After carefully studying the girl's features, he realized that though she was young, only 14 or 15, she was undeniably a rare beauty in the making. In all likelihood, she would grow into a stunning enchantress who could topple kingdoms.